Alright, first video. I am on my way to work. It is 5:30 in the morning. Normally I get up at 4:30 and head to the business that I own in Connecticut from New York. And I was up late last night because most nights I stay up and process any emotions or things that are going on with me. And I spent a few hours doing that, thinking, writing. And my most recent revelation was that I have been living my life through the lens of guilt for the last 40 years. So this year I'm 40. And about 7.5 months ago, Halloween, I had a revelation that pulled me out of a very bad depression and severe anxiety that I had formed through a relationship that I was in, where we were toxic and we were trauma bonded to one another. So I have been pulling myself out by the bootstraps, I suppose. And I've been pulling myself out for the last 7.5 months. It's been a wild ride of emotional ups and downs and discovering new things about myself that have really changed my trajectory. And I realized that I have been learning a lot more from each interaction or thing that happens to me. I'm really learning from all of the experiences. So I wanted to share part of my life because, first of all, I think it's amazing, even despite all the crazy things that are going on. And I think for one person, I am managing a lot, and maybe it's because of the guilt and because I have been taking on or picking up the slack of other people dropping their responsibilities, and it just falling on me because I seem capable. But honestly, it's way too much. And what I've learned is that I deserve fucking better. Excuse my language, but I deserve better. And so I'm in the middle of restructuring my life so that I am moving toward alignment with my goals and what is most aligned with what I truly need and want. Not just for me, but for my 2 kids. So to give you a little rundown of where I'm at, I work in New York at my family's plastic manufacturing company. And then 2 years ago, June 1st. No, July 1st. So we're almost there. 2 years ago, July 1st, I took over a plastic manufacturing company in Connecticut. And boy, has it been a wild ride. And I question myself all the time whether that was the right move. But what I did understand too was that I wasn't in the right mindset I'm still getting there. But I definitely wasn't in the right mindset for the first year and a half almost, to be able to lead in the best way possible. I am getting closer and seeing the clarity that I need in order to make good business decisions now, because what I've allowed is for people to just walk all over me, pretty much. It was worse before, and the people who were walking all over me, I let go, either in relationships or in business. Now the disrespect is a little bit more subtle, but still there and still accepted by me. And that is the problem. And my pattern throughout my life, with my kid's father, my ex-husband, I gave up everything in the divorce, barely took anything, because I felt guilty and thought I didn't deserve it. The reason why I don't stand up for myself with my parents, the reason that employees get a little bit more grace, maybe, or a little bit more understanding, when what they really need is reprimand, probably, and understanding that treating your boss with disrespect is absolutely not acceptable. And I thought that the last people that I got rid of in not so nice of a way would have set an example, but it hasn't really worked yet. But that's part of it, right? So every other day, I try to say 50% of the time I am in New York, and 50% of the time I am in Connecticut. It's not exact. I barely have a schedule, so I try to keep, when I have my kids, I try to go to Connecticut on Mondays and Wednesdays, and when I don't have my kids, I go on typically Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. However, next week is the last day of school for one of my sons, who is moving into the middle school next year, and he has a graduation, and I have a doctor's appointment. So next week, my schedule when I don't have the kids is Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And so I move my schedule around based on other obligations. While I'm not working, I am rebuilding a camper, which has been me teaching my kids about construction, electrical, engineering, design, interior design. I also built a garden with my kids this year, Memorial Day. We just last 2 nights made salad from our garden, which is very exciting. By the way, I'm a brown thumb, so the fact that anything's growing is amazing. However, I do remember that since I was 20, I have I've always had a garden, a vegetable garden. I've also realized in the last 8 months how important it has been for me to be outside. It's not a want anymore. It's necessary for my nervous system. So I've been doing that. Okay, so what other fun things? So yesterday, I went on a hike with my kids, and I thought we might go swimming. So I brought our bathing suits, and we walked probably about half a mile into a secret swimming spot with, a maybe 25-pound bag on my shoulder. Not that much. The kids were wearing their vests, so it wasn't like 2 bags. We were going to a lake, and I don't, you can't touch the bottom. You can't even see the bottom. So definitely life vest territory. But we walked out to the lake, and we took a little detour and went a silly way, and we were like, does this lead there or not? I don't know. It did. Great. Love that. Then we get to like the swimming spot, and my oldest is like, Mommy, there is a snake. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't see it, because I was telling them the snakes hang out on the rocks. So like, as we get to the rocks, we always just double check. We might need to scare somebody away if they're out there sunning. But there was a little snake, which I failed to look up, which would have been fun. But so we like check out the snake. I get in my bathing suit, and my youngest wants to go swimming. I think he's a little nervous. We haven't gone since last year. So the funny part is, I sat on the edge of the lake and I put my feet in. I was nervous to go in. I was hesitating. And in the meantime, my oldest scraped his knee on the rock behind us. So I was like, okay, I think it's time to go back. And we walk all the way back to the med kit in the car. And we're sitting there, you know, cleaning up and bandaging the wound. And I was so proud of humanity, I guess, when two bikers came by and yelled over, hey, are you guys okay? And I'm like, wow, yeah, we are. Thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate that. Just a little scrape, no worries. But I reiterated that to my kids because it's rare anymore that somebody like reaches out because they like care like to a stranger, which is a little sad, honestly. Yeah, and you'll notice that like on these rides, maybe most of them, I cry. Sometimes tears of joy, mostly tears of recognition, I would say. Sometimes tears of sadness. Almost always those tears of sadness turn into tears of recognition and tears of joy for recognizing. So it's a pretty interesting process that I continue going through over and over again. Today, I'm looking forward to going to Trader Joe's after work, because I buy organic food that is going to nurture my kids and I for the next, 5 days or something like that. And I'm really looking forward to taking my boys out to dinner and teaching them what it means to be respectful and take care of mommy on a mommy-son-daughter date. Mommy-son date. Mommy-son-daughter date. Well, I am a daughter of someone. So that's what I'm looking forward to today. And tonight we'll probably the kids and I will probably do fireworks after dinner, just some little ones in the backyard, and we might look at the stars. We might watch a soccer game. Last night we watched Argentina versus Algeria, and the kids fell asleep before Messi got his hat trick and tied the number of goals in a World Cup, right? So I got to watch that, which was really exciting. And honestly, sorry, Messi, didn't realize how damn good you are. Very impressed. My kids love you, and I just bought them Messi t-shirts. They're 50% off at Old Navy, so and they love them, but I guess I just didn't get it, but now I do. So looking forward to having another awesome night like that tonight, and despite the craziness that I am going into at work today, I'm looking forward to having a wonderful day, and I hope you do too. And if you'd like to follow this journey on Instagram. I am full moon in Aries, which I am not in Aries. I'm a Scorpio. And the mantra and tattoo